I'm pulling up to the job here, and this is what I was talking about last week with just the amount of construction going on here. So this is probably the 4th little construction job site I've seen on my way over here on the same road. And so I thought it'd be funny just to record to show you guys. This stuff is everywhere. I'm telling you, you got all this right here, and then here's even another one. So 2 like super close to one another. So it's absolutely incredible to me. And then another thing, like with how much is going on, it really doesn't look like there's any possibility of this slowing down just with how much there is, because it's all over the place. It's like landscaping, we have construction, so like concrete, stuff like that, houses being built, all that good stuff. But I'm about to pull up to the job site right now, so I'll catch up back with you guys when I'm out and about looking at the job. See you in a bit. Not only that, but I just pulled up to the job site, and as I was just finishing talking to you guys, these guys right next door are doing some major landscaping renovations. You can see the truck right there with the rake on the back. But like I was saying, it is everywhere. It just is astonishing to me. So I really want to know down in the comments if it's similar to this in your city, wherever you're at, because we're located in Denver, Colorado, and it's just like there's cranes everywhere, job sites, landscaping, new housing developments. It's just booming right now. As I'm speaking, there's a forklift driving across the street. Like, you can't make this up. So drop a comment down below and let me know what construction's looking like in your city. But with that said, I'm gonna hop into the job site over here and take you guys through this week's work. All right, so it was another noisy week here at the job site, so I'm doing a little bit of a voiceover for you guys so you can hear me better. But pretty good progress overall this week. The guys were just really doing footer work and just doing the final stuff in terms of the walls and stuff to get those done. And then once that's done, we're really just waiting on other contractors to move stuff out of here. So like the staircase over here to the left needs to be moved out, as well as that water heater. I'm not exactly sure what that was, that unit behind me. But coming over here, you can see we got some piping and stuff that needs to be looked at as well before we can continue in some areas. But overall, the guys are just killing it over here. You can see we got this crew over on this side doing this work over here on some footers, and then we got the crew over here. So unfortunately, we're going to come take a look at here. So since this is in our way, the guys are only able to do so much in terms of the footers. So you can see here that there's actually going to be a supporting wall there. That's why we have that. There's 2 pieces of rebar sticking up right there. And then they can only go so far under the staircase because they're going to connect those 2 where they're working right there, because that's going to be a footer. So we're just waiting for this to be removed out of the way and just some other stuff. And then once that's done, then we'll be able to continue. And then hopefully we're able to wrap this up pretty fast. The guys were able to do a killer job on this project. It's only a month in and almost all the footers are done, which is great. That is great to see. So you can see all those giant footer walls over there. Those are probably 5 foot, something like that, give or take. But with that said, we're going to hop into the time lapse here. So just like last week, lots of footer work. So we're going to be seeing what the guys are doing in terms of how they operate their footers. So you can see here, they go in there, they dig them out, all that great stuff, get them prepped, and then they'll go in there with some vapor barrier. You see that right now. They're putting up that blue stuff. That's vapor barrier. That's going to keep all the moisture from entering the basement when it's finished. So it's just some moisture prevention. So once that's in, they're going to put their rebar in, and then they're going to pour their concrete in, and then boom, a finished footer just like that. You can see this huge pile of dirt that they got here. Like I've been saying, it is so incredible just how much dirt is compacted into a small area, and once you start breaking that up, how much it just expands. Because that's all just from the footers right there. We're not doing anything serious here. All the main excavation work is done. This is literally just all footer dirt that's being brought into this pile. So really crazy to see just how much dirt expands right there. And then you can see here, this is just to show the conveyor process and just how efficient it is. So once the guys, so we like to do like staging pretty much. So we get a lot of questions on why don't they just take the dirt and then go straight to the conveyor, and why do they just stack it right there? Well, it's really just an efficiency thing. Since we have the guys, we just want to get everything structural done first, because if there's any problems or anything like that, we just want those out of the way ASAP. So we just try to have the guys work as fast as they can on the structural stuff and getting that stuff done as quickly as possible. And then they'll move on to, we'll take like half the crew or whatever, and they'll start moving dirt out. Like you can see right here, half the guys are shoveling dirt out, and then the other half are working on the footers in the back. And it's really just like an efficiency thing, trying to keep everything moving at the same time. And sometimes when a lot's going on, we just have everyone on the footers, and then that dirt likes to build up. Because keep in mind too, we also need a guy outside, either wheelbarrowing or operating a skid steer, taking all that dirt that's being pumped out and then bringing it to a dumpster or somewhere else where it can be taken away. Because you have to keep in mind, even though there's a pile right there in the basement, once they put that on the conveyor belt, now there's just a pile outside. So we also need guys outside to move it to the final takeaway destination. So it's really just a big logistics game on these digouts in terms of just maximizing efficiency and like where you have your guys at, all that great stuff. But you can see here another good angle. We got all the guys shoveling, getting it nice and flat, getting all that dirt out of there. And then you can see just how much room is in this basement now compared to when we first started. It's really nice when you're able to have like 5+ guys, 7+ guys all working at the same time and not being in each other's way. Really just boosts the efficiency and overall just speed of the project. Like, I want to say this is one of our fastest digouts that we've done in terms of getting to this stage. Like I said, it's only been a month and the guys are able to almost be finished with all the footers, which is awesome to see. We love to see this kind of stuff, this kind of progress. Right here on the right, you see them just put up that form for the footer. So pretty much they're just leveraging some 2x4s and stuff to keep that wall propped up so it's nice and flush whenever they pour the concrete and it cures. So that's really cool to see. That was a good angle. Here's an even better angle. You can see that vapor barrier in there that I was talking about, that blue stuff. It's a really thick plastic that keeps moisture out. He just put in the rebar. You can see that super fast. It happens so fast. These guys are just incredibly fast at what they do. And then they just put the form up. They're going to make sure it's nice and flush with the wall with all those 2x4 supporting it. And then they just pour the concrete in. That took all of, what, I want to say 5 minutes if we were to slow this down to normal speed. So really great work to see the guys just working this fast and efficiently. Back to that other angle, you can see all the guys just hanging out over here because there's a lot of work going on under the camera. Because this is probably the last spot with all the footers, just because that's the main entrance. So we usually do the entrance last just because, you know, more people get in the way. Like if we have other contractors coming in, they're hopping in and out of that hole right there. If people have to leave, it's that hole. So we try to save that for last, and when we know when the least amount of people are going to be using that access point. But with that said, this was a super quick week in terms of just getting stuff done. So I hope you guys enjoyed the voiceover. Hope you're able to take something away from this. With that said, I'll leave you with the outro to this video. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time on Gold's Concrete. In case you weren't sold already, I'm leaving the job right now. And yet again, we got one crew over here. And if I pan over to the left over here, we got another crew working over there. It is just ungodly amounts of work going on in this city, and honestly we love to see it. Keeps us busy. With that said, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Later.